Okay, here we are. We're in the final round, the championship of QT number 4. We're paired up against RexDart, and he's got an interesting fish deck. This is a look at his deck list right here. He's managed to beat a couple of workshop decks along the way, so it'll be interesting to see how we do here. We did win the die roll, so that's a good thing for us. We get the jump start on him. So we will definitely play first. And let's see, our opening hand is not too shabby. We can open up with a sphere and turn 2. Well, yeah, I mean, turn 2 will be a little interesting. Best we can really do is probably put down a Revoker, and then we'll have to draw land in order to get the Worm Coil out, but I think it's worth keeping, strictly for the Sphere of Resistance. So he's mulled down to 6. And mulled down to 5. Well, that's a good sign for us, I think. Well, so he had a Force of Will, but he pitches a Jace and he goes down to 3 cards. So that's quite interesting. So while it didn't work out in our favor to keep the sphere out there, he's at 4 cards now. So maybe he's opening up with a Noble Hierarch, which is a pretty good turn for him, considering we aren't really able to do anything. And Null Rod is a completely dead card. Well, I might as well play this, just in case we draw a Tolarian Academy next turn, then we can play the Worm Coil Engine. So even though he went down to 4, that's a pretty good draw for him. I don't think he could have asked for a better set of cards, honestly. He can do some damage, attack, and he had some removal and a counterspell. It's a pretty good hand. Alright, so Rishadan Port. That helps in one aspect. I can play the City of Traders now and get Worm Coil out. I guess that's probably a better call at this point. So next time I play the Port, I'm going to lose my City of Traders, but that's okay. a Knight of the Reliquary, maybe? Yep. Okay. Precursor Golem, that's not too bad of a draw. And he's got no cards in his hand. So let's see here. Let's play the Precursor Golem. It's our best chance probably to quickly turn this game or quickly end this game, I should say. So we have a Tangle Wire coming down next turn, which will definitely help. And of course we can tap down a land that he may... Well, he's probably going to tap, in response to that, he's probably going to tap 3 lands and a Hierarch or something. Oh, I missed an opportunity there to tap something, but that's okay. So, we drew another Tangle Wire, which is interesting. So, I'm just going to attack with everything since he has to block. Well, actually, I might have screwed up a little bit there. Simply because now he can kill my workshop and I won't be able to cast Tangle Wire. If he searches up a wasteland, which I anticipate him doing. That was a little bit of a mistake. Unless he gets a Mace of Ith. But instead he gets a Windswept Heath, it appears. That is interesting. And we got the game. Alright, so we won game 1. Moving to the sideboard. There's some cards we can definitely get rid of. We definitely don't have any need for the Null Rods. bring in the steel Hellkite and duplicant. Other than that, I think we want to keep everything. I mean, we could bring in a Crucible of Worlds, but considering he has Noble Hierarchs, they're a little less effective. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, I think if he had searched up a Maze of Ith, I assume he has a Maze of Ith. Maybe he doesn't. Oh no, he doesn't. Yeah, if he had a Maze of Ith, that might have helped him out a little bit there. He would have been able to. Well, I would have tapped the land on the trigger, so he still would have had. I still think I would have won, but it would have made his decision-making process a little easier if he had a Maze of Ith in his deck. Alright, so let's see what we got for game 2. So we get the proverbial 6-land and do nothing artifact hand. Lots of mana, nothing to do with it. I think we have to throw this one back. So he kept, which is not a great sign, and this hand is far better. Nope, I am definitely going to keep that. So he leads off with the Windswept Heath and nothing else. So we can do a couple of different things here. We can play Trinisphere, or I can try and turn off some of his counters and removal with the Chalice on 1. It's tricky which one might be better. But either way, I'm playing this Mishra's Workshop, so I think it's a tough decision between Sphere, Trinisphere, and Chalice. Since I think he has Nature's Claims, or no, he doesn't have any Nature's Claims, so maybe Trinisphere is just better. And he had a Force of Will again, having to exile his Jace, so that's fine. It's a little unfortunate. I'm sure it means he's probably got a turn 2 play, maybe even a Tarmogoyf or something. Well, Wasteland is a pretty good play. Follow that up with, and Wormcoil Engine is not going to help us in the near term. So the question is, because of my land situation, I don't really want to play City of Traders, so I guess I'm going to have to just play Wasteland and pass the turn. Okay, so he's got 2 fetch lands. I guess his hand must be full of some hate. Okay, so now we have a decision to make here. I think Crucible on 1 is better than a Sphere at this point. Simply because the Sphere will help prevent us from casting something. I assume he's got a steel sabotage. Well, brainstorm. That's fine. It's a dead card from him if he lets that resolve anyway. So we'll see if he finds anything. Alright, so we locked him out of 1 mana spells now. It turns off his Steel Sabotages, which he likely brought in. So that's really the only removal he has per se. Including the Swords to Plowshares. So hopefully we can draw a good land next turn, maybe a Mishra's Workshop. That would be really nice. That would allow us to play our Wormcoil Engine and then still follow up with enough mana to cast Lodestone Golem on the following turn. So I'm not sure what he's thinking about now. I mean, he's got both of his basic lands out. I can only presume the only cards that he brought in might have been 1 Jeet and 2 Steel Sabotage. Otherwise, if he brought in Stony Silence, well, 1, he wouldn't be able to cast it, but 2, it doesn't do anything really. Trigon Predator. That's not bad at all. I think I might have slammed that one down, but who knows. Duplicate is great, except we can't cast it. So, I imagine we're not going to win this game. That's fine. I'd rather him do that anyway. Could probably use the Well, I still won't be able to use that mana, so I'm pretty much screwed. I can't cast any spells, and he's just going to have an active Trigon Predator, so it'll be a miracle to come back from this game. Alright, so that's a sign that he probably doesn't have any 1 mana cards in his hand. Alright, yeah, now the game is over. Well, when you draw 3 of your strip effects, that's about as good as it's going to get. I don't really know what he was thinking about so hard there, but yeah, Chalice of the Void isn't going to do anything. Alright, and we're not drawing our land. He got all of his strip mines, so it's about as good of a hand as he could get. And yet again, no land. Alright. Well, that worked out exactly how he envisioned it, I'm sure, when he drew up the game, his deck. Well, I think I do want to bring in the Crucible Worlds after what happened there. The question is, what do I bring out? Actually, I think these Revokers are pretty bad, even though I didn't draw any. And that is not a keepable hand. And nor is that. Oh, this is ugly. Deck is tripping over itself. And alright, we're back. He kept his 7 cards, which is really bad for us. This is better. It's a lot better, actually. The Mana Crypt kind of is annoying, but it allows us to do this on turn 1 here. And he had another Force of Will. My goodness. That's insane. Alright, well, he's running good. And he got a fetch land. Hopefully he grabs a dual land. Nope. And of course a Noble Hierarch. So his best hand yet again. unfortunately for us. I'm expecting to lose the flip. Yep. Not enough to cast the steel hellkite, unfortunately. But I can do this. I'll save myself some life. See, I mean, I could have tapped Ancient Tomb and then been able to Wasteland and then bring back the Wasteland next turn, but I'm not sure that that really gets me where I need to go. Here comes a Trigon Predator, so we need desperately to draw a land right now. Ooh, thank you. All right. No force of will. Oh, thank you. All right, we made it. Oh. Yeah. That should be game. Oh man. He had all the answers. That's what a good fish deck does. So he had pretty much the perfect hands his last two games. So obviously he takes out the Crucible of Worlds. I mean, that's... Well, I guess he has a choice. He could take out the Mana Crypt. Kind of holds me into maybe playing a... Yeah, it really doesn't actually matter at this point, because I really need to draw a duplicate. Well, this is the only thing we can do. Alright, let's see what we draw here. Alright, so I guess we'll tap these guys here. See what we draw. Mishra's Workshop. It's a start. Ultimately doesn't really get us where we need to be yet. And there goes our tangle wire, I assume. Actually, no, he'll probably get rid of the crucible. Which puts us back into exactly where we were last turn, with only one untapped land to do absolutely nothing with, really. Revoker isn't going to get the job done. Do I even play it? Well, I mean, if I play it, it's probably just going to die. I take 2 damage anyway. And this guy goes to 4. Yeah, I don't see why I would even play it. The 2 life might buy me a turn. Again, I still don't see any way I actually win this game. I'm sure he'll draw a wasteland too, because of the way things have been going here. Misty Rainforest, that's fine. So I guess the moral of the story is, against Workshop, make sure you have a Force of Will in turn 1, all 3 games. And hope that they basically do nothing after that. Alright, well, there's the worm coil engine we kind of needed a long time ago. Yeah. That's just not going to get there. So, that's pretty much the game. And we ran out of turns. Watch, we'll draw the duplicate, or the Mishra's Workshop. Yippee-doo-dah. Here we go. Good games.